Number 32 is, why do we pray in Hebrew? Why is the Hebrew language so powerful? What's unique about the Hebrew language? And why is it more powerful than other languages? So I'm going a bit in a mystical tour to try, a Kabbalistic tour to understand that. God created the world with 10 energies. People call it the spheros. There's a famous Kabbalah tree like that with the 10 sphirot. The 10 sphirot are the 10 steps that were necessary for the creation to be into what it is. This is what they study in Kabbalah all the time about the 10 sphirot, but I don't want to go into that. What I want to say is that in order for the 10 steps to happen, God used, so to speak, sound for it to bring the world to God, to what it is today. Where do we learn that? It says in our prayer, we say, Baruch She'amar v'haya olam. God spoke and the world came into being. Meaning speech and the sound is what enables the world to grow from basically the world of thought. I'm thinking of something, and then I'm taking that thought that is not tangible, that is not physical, and then I bring it out through my mouth and bring in the physical world, and it takes vibrations, energy, form. And it's a combination of the heart and the thought, what I'm thinking, and the way I say the words with feelings. That's the combination of the head and the heart, and my mouth, which is in the middle, gives the sound, the energy. So as we say, there are the 10 sphirot, and when the 10 sphirot, the way it works is that they all have in between a line, right? All those lines, and all those lines have they are really a total of 22 lines. So the 10 sphirot, the 10 energies that exist in the world. Imagine the table of elements in science, or imagine like 10 chemical entities, 10 energies, and they all interconnected with wires, with string, like in the brain, synapses, and each one corresponds to a sound. And in Judaism, in Hebrew, it will be the 22 letters. So meaning the 22 letters or sound that God used in order to connect all those energies. Meaning that when I say a word in Hebrew, I'm connecting myself to the 10 energies necessary for the world to come into being, and I'm mixing those energies together. So the word ahava is a combination of hey and aleph and beit, and when I say the word ahava, which is love, it takes those energies and bring that energy in the world. So when God created the world, he used the power of sound to connect those energies and make it to being. So which is fascinating. I don't know if you know, but in Hebrew we have the word, as in almost any language. I've heard that it's in any language the same word, abracadabra. Any magician is doing abracadabra. Abracadabra is really comes from the Hebrew, which is like that, abracadabra, which means I will create as I speak. Abracadabra, I create as I speak, meaning my words create energies combined together, create certain energies in the world. And because of that, we are able to experience or affect the world with those energies. Now, there's another very interesting idea, that in Hebrew the word for word, which is davar, also means the thing. Like that, the same word davar means the word daber, the thing. So meaning the word, whatever the thing is, it's in the word. When I say ahava, the word ahava contains all the elements necessary to understand what love is. If I want to understand and that's the same concept with the name of a person. I understand what's unique about that person. I study the name. In that name is the essence of a person. So what we're saying basically is that when we speak in Hebrew, something is happening. We're taking energies from all different parts of the universe, and they come out from my mouth, and my mouth brings power into the world. Obviously, one can pray in any language because the most powerful part of prayer is the emotions. It's being able to take one thought and combine with the emotions, but it's not as powerful as the Hebrew language. The best combination is Hebrew language, the Hebrew words from the Bible combined with the emotions. However, a lot of rabbis says that it's better to pray in English if you're going to pray with emotions than to pray just like that in a rote. The Arizal says if you don't pray with emotion or with joy, it destroys spiritual worlds. So it's not a simple thing. But there's still the concept in Hebrew, or even if one say a psalm in Hebrew, even if one doesn't understand the full meaning, because those letters still brings the energies together, meaning it's like sending a code. It's going to be sent. The intensity of that code, the intensity of the energy is going to be a different intensity based on the emotions you have. So when you say your words in Hebrew, when you pray from the Siddur, so you say the combination of words, and that's why the Siddur is so important, because it has all the combination necessary for the world to be affected the way it's supposed to be affected. So I pray, I send the words in Hebrew, and it comes, and it waits for it to be elevated. What's going to elevate it is my emotions. So that's why it's so important to understand what one says in Hebrew, because that will bring more emotions. However, sometimes even without understanding, if I'm emotionally motivated, that I just feel love for God, so I'm going to pray in Hebrew even if I don't understand, then that's also very powerful, because then it's going to rise up to heaven. But to come to the conclusion of that question is that the reason we pray in Hebrew is because the Hebrew language contains in it all the vibrations, sounds of creation, and when one says it, one is able to bring to existence the same energies that God brought into existence when He created the world, and one is able to rectify the world, one is able to affect the world, and that's why this Hebrew language is so important. So make an effort to learn Hebrew if you don't know Hebrew, to pray in Hebrew if you can, and never forget the emotions, because without emotions the Hebrew doesn't go very far up. And the combination of both the thought and the emotions with the Hebrew language will create a tremendous rectification in the world.